The earth is groaning as it waits, longing for the coming day when I need to be ready. Grant to me the grace I need to live a life found worthy in the end. Violently I will seek, 'cause wisdom is justified in the end. Wake me up, wake me up. I don't wanna be sleeping when you're coming. Wake me up, wake me up. I don't wanna.
Paul tells us to pray continually. And I think the question that we need to seriously ask ourselves is, do we take that literally? You know, like what if we actually took this idea of praying continually literally? Here at ASU, we've been doing days of prayer, nonstop, unbroken, 24-hour prayer. And it's a direct mandate from the Lord. You know, this idea of 24-hour prayer, I don't believe it was conjured up by a man. I don't believe it was conjured up by an organization. You know, you can say it's just a new fad or whatever, but I believe it's an actual mandate by the Lord himself. You know, calling us to pray continually, interceding for our campus and drawing into intimacy with him.
What is 24-hour prayer? I would describe it as just dialoguing with the Lord, just coming together with fellow students that have a relationship, have a walk with the Lord, and just are hungry for more of Him and are seeking His heart.
What's really cool about it is the presence of God just shows up so strongly as people are like praying and worshiping every day. And you know, God in the Bible, in the Psalms, Book of Psalms, God says that He inhabits the praises of His people. And we've really seen that to be true here, where literally the presence of God is here so strong, and people will walk in and who normally can't pray for more than 10 or 15 minutes, and then 2 hours will pass by, and they'll just ask themselves, like, how did that happen? And where'd the time go? And that's a testimony we hear quite often.
You know, there's stories after stories of even people getting saved in here, supernaturally getting saved in the prayer house. I mean, you can point it to a man, you can point it to an organization, but in the end, it is Jesus Christ himself showing up in this place because we're asking him to.
And what's really neat is we have a lot of interactive prayer stations too. So when you first come in, there's a cross with like Post-it notes, and you know, it'll say like, leave your sins at the cross, you know, and so people will you know, like write down their sins and then put it on the nails on the cross. And then, you know, sometimes we'll have like maps of like the campus or of the world, and we'll use that to kind of fuel our prayers. And we'll have boards where people can write down like prayer requests or praise reports. You know, we'll usually have like some people will bring, you know, we'll be playing guitar or piano. You know, it's just really neat. It's a lot of interactive things like an art station. And so it's really just kind of engaging the senses as we like talk to Him, as we worship and pray.
I just have a sense that God is doing something new at ASU, and that the 24/7 prayer has been a key part of what God has been doing and changing the spiritual climate of this campus.
And it's amazing because we've seen in these seasons of 24-hour prayer, you know, lives have been changed. People coming from out of state, coming to ASU, the #1 party school in the nation, and they come here to ASU and they stumble across the prayer tent or the prayer house, and they encounter Jesus. And when they encounter Jesus in this place, their lives are changed forever.
God just started moving in my life, and all of a sudden I didn't know what to do. Like I was just caught up in, God just caught me up in like His wind. He just took me away. And I remember my friend Chad was with 24-hour prayer, and I remember talking to him late one night. He's like, you should come by. And so I started coming to Danforth 24-hour prayer every night and just being with Chad, being with the Lord. And I just remember just like the Spirit just moving, just God moving in my life, and how I started to change, how I began to see different things in God that I'd never seen before. And I can't even explain it. Like now I'm just such a different person from what I was then.
I really felt like God found me here in this prayer house, and just for several years I've been crying out for God, just for fellowship and for intimacy with Him. And He answered my prayer through hooking me up with the 24-hour prayer here at ASU.
One night we were worshiping, and a PhD student came in. He kind of looked in. He's from India, and he was wondering, is it okay if I come in? I'm Muslim, and there's about 15 of us worshiping, and we're like, yeah, come in. We're just worshiping God. And so he comes in and ends up sitting there for the next 2 hours. And at the end of it, he gives his life to Jesus.
One day, suddenly, I heard people singing music and Christmas songs, carols inside Danforth Chapel at night, and I just went inside on my instinct and I listened to the music, and then the people around the Danforth Chapel told me that I can come anytime during my prayer session and be mingle with them, share my thoughts, share my emotional fears so that they can pray for me.
And so that was really awesome. But what's even more amazing than that is a few days after that, he begins coming into the prayer house for about the next 20 to 25, 30 days, about 2 to 4 hours each night. And this guy who's Muslim just came to Christ in the prayer house 2 to 4 hours every night. And he ends up getting discipled in the prayer house as we're praying, as we're reading the Word aloud, and as we're just worshiping. And by the end of it, he's just saying things that are just ministering to my heart, and just he's saying things that are just straight from God, and it's crazy.
We're the second or third largest campus in the United States, and so I believe that God cares about Arizona State University. And there is a wonderful band of students who have been coming together to pray through the night, through the day, to be a witness. Here in the center of campus, the busiest part of the campus, there's been an ongoing witness of students and others who have just been praying and interceding, crying out to God that He would come and visit this land.
So the primary reason that I come to the prayer house and I pray for 1, 2, 3, 4 hours at a time is not that I don't believe in like evangelism or I don't believe in mission. Like I believe these are crucial things, and the church needs to be out there speaking the word, living the gospel, like loving people and stuff. But like it begins in the house of prayer. And I know that when I'm in here praying 1, 2, 3, 4 hours at a time, that I am literally shaking the grounds here at ASU, and I'm shaking the foundations here. The spiritual foundations at ASU, making it easy soil to till for the gospel to be planted.
People are really needing God, really wanting God, and desiring God in a way that we haven't seen yet to this extent.
I feel like this is the primary motivation. This is our heart in the prayer house. This is why young adults should come and pray here.
Love this ministry. It's God's work, and it's just doing amazing things to change people's lives, and I am a testimony of that.
It's just been awesome to see that and to see how my life has changed.
My heart has literally been changed.
There's been a lot of great things that have been coming out of 24-hour prayer.
I encourage you to join us in prayer for ASU.
So his house will be called a house of prayer, and zeal for his house consumes it. And we're just finding that his passions begin to burn in our hearts.
Just would love to see you come and join us. Come out. I'd love to pray alongside of you. always welcome. A lot of people may think that prayer is boring. I just want to say that prayer is not boring.